Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back to Torment Tides of Numenera. Now, we were about to start interrogating this memorialist to try and achieve some kind of peaceful resolution to this, and also to get on our way. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I can't, even the clue, the name of the Castoffs prince, is too much to give him. Passcode is Goonie by any chance. Her face becomes the colour of ash. Her mouth opens and closes in a wordless stammer. It takes a moment for her to collect herself. No, she says finally. Of course not. That's ridiculous. But her voice is shaking. Her eyes plead with you with not to tell. Farewell. I'm Utwag, by the way. Utwag lost, the leader of these sad sacks. Wish we could meet under better circumstances. Explorer and do-gooder, self-proclaimed. I've been all over the world and every occupation and hardship you could imagine. Why I even had my luck stolen from me. And do you know what I learned in all of that? You can do anything if you work for it. Anything. Fair enough. How'd you get here? Let me tell you, we left the oasis some weeks ago, tracking the tale of deceit and fabled Numenera. We were hired to find something called the World String, a tiny contraption that can spin a web so fine that it's almost invisible, but so strong it can slice the world in two if someone had the means and the mind for it. No idea if it actually exists, but that's how this all started. Well, there we were, out in the Vesulian wastes, when we happened across the broken hound the size of a griffalo. Something had irritated it, so we decided to seek shelter and wait for nightfall, to see if it might not range a little further from the route we had wanted to take. I was looking for just such a place when something slammed into me and knocked me into this valley. It was Narv trying to kill me again. I don't blame him though. It's all for the best. Narv and Jenkins followed, of course, and we ran into these fine memorialists in a bit of trouble. Now, I'm never one to turn down a challenge or people in need. It's almost a curse, you might say. Okay, well, hold on. What can we do in talking to Motley again? What you're doing is wrong. Ends here. How many, hold on, how many of, I'll keep looking. How many of these guys, so we've got, she looks like a cultist. We've got a gate cultist there. We've got him. We've got two gate cultists, and we've got Clinthar. Or Clinkar, rather. Let's talk to Jalen Demath. What's up? This alluring woman looks up, white hair brushing her shoulders. She allows a slight smile to put the corners of her mouth. Her face is confusing, for though her skin has the tightness of youth, her eyes pierce you with the wisdom of 100 years. She rests her hands on the daggers at her hips, perhaps waiting to see if you have courage to make the first move. Think of pulling those daggers on me, would you? Prefer not to. You seem pleasant enough. I suppose we'll see how things go, won't we? Who are you? Jalen of Underhouse Demath. Sorry, habit. Demath has gone into the dark like all the others. I'm just Jalen these days. Now, what brought that on? You mentioned an underhouse. What's that? I can't believe I told you my full name. My croft father would have had me whipped. I come from a world beside this one, from a city in the hollowed core, ruled by 16 underhouses built into the walls. Then, a few decades back, I woke to screams, and not one or two, like you'd get from the lower city from time to time, but hundreds. She grins, but there is uneasiness in it. I'm getting soft. That's the only explanation. I found out that shadows were pouring from the walls of the world. The underhouses, the people inside, were just melting into it, screaming. A few of us made it through a portal into the bloom. The shadows wouldn't follow. I think the bloom scared them off, or scared even them. At any rate, I made a living for a while plying the family trade, but there was no joy in it, not until I found the Endless Gate, and they gave me a reason to work. Tell me about your family trade. Where is my head today? I'm a... what's the word you use here? Torturer. I get information through pain. Underhouse Demath was famous for it, and I was the only one of my family left. I thought I'd make them proud by following the trade here. Nearly starved my first year at the Bloom. Barely anyone wanted to hire me, and those that did paid pittances for my family's holy work and treating me like some kind of monster. I drank a lot in those days, talking about my family and how they served the people they killed. Freed them from their secrets, right? And one night I said all this to a member of the Endless Gate. Such luck. They said I belonged with them. They were right. Why did you join the Endless Gate? I torture people to free them from their secrets. The Endless Gate and I are a good match. Talking about the death of your world doesn't seem to pain you all that much. Well, it was foretold. Underhouse Deshando, that was the Prophet cast, was wrong about the date, is all. Shame that all of us suffered because they were sloppy, but they're either dead now or still getting eaten. In other words, I knew it was coming my whole life, wasn't expecting to live through it. So getting weepy about the whole thing would be a slap in the face to everyone I left behind. What a remarkable perspective. Would that more people could act this way. After all, the one great truth of life is that we know it will come to an end one day. What use is it to fuss and bother? As I said, why insult the dead by declaring that you are afraid to be among their number? Any suggestions on how to get information out of the memorialists? Well, you'd think violence would work, but that's a dead end. I think she's one of those altruists, you know, the ones who will stand up to days of torture but spill any secret if it'll help those who hear it. Obviously, she knows we don't mean her well, but maybe you can convince her you do? Okay, well, I could just walk off down here and completely ignore you. You know, that's quite a tempting kind of prospect. Abandoned bowls and things.
Yes.
So I'm like, should I try and kill the cultists?
Without doubt.
I'd be more willing to try and kill the cultists if I hadn't gone and sold that armor. But then again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Motley. So yeah,
go.
There's a fair number of them. I'm just not sure if we should try and take them on outright. There might be another way.
Of course.
Which one of you Calesthesias is the one that likes me?
None of us do, Eratus.
Are any of them lying?
Possibly.
Okay, so this is lights bending, refracting. Okay, so this has to be the console, and then you've got the thing around it that's. See,
Making a note.
we'll just activate this ourselves, and then ha! Now we can get back to helping Lord Inifir. But first, to release the prisoners. He nods, draws his blade. He intends to kill for our Lord in the Gate. Why are you doing this? The spirit is encaged in flesh. We must release it for Lord Inifir. I thought you understood. This is what we do. I'm more powerful than your Lord Inifir. I command you to leave this necropolis, or I will release your spirits. Let's give it a go. Yes! Because apparently we're terrifying and smart. He stumbles backward, his grip on his blade loosened. He glances at your tattoo, his face paling even further. Yes, my lord, I will be as you say. Or it will be as you say. He hurries out of the corridor. A piece of paper flutters out of his pocket as he goes, because of course it does. But he doesn't notice it in his haste to leave. The paper lands at your feet. You pick it up. Footsteps recede into the valley. You're welcome. Thank you, stranger. I cannot express my gratitude enough. The memorialists owe you a great debt. But though we are safer here, now the true danger still lies beneath. You must stop the children of the Endless Gate. Their gate is within the necropolis itself. Close it and you may free this valley. I will help you in any way that I can. Okay, well, how do I find the cultist gate? I have learned a great deal while held hostage. These children have loose tongues, all the looser for their insanity. The gate and their Lord Inifir can be found in the tomb 1254. Go and stop them if you can. You heard of a girl named Choi? I think she's dead, possibly interred here. Choi? I'm afraid I don't. But there are thousands, perhaps millions of names below. Keep asking those who have spent time down there. One of them may have come across the name you seek. Now they're gone, is it possible for me to rest here? It is relatively safe, yes. If I will keep watch to ensure it. Just let me know whenever you need to retire. Or whenever you wish to retire. I'll rest now just to get those points back. And then we can...
I can breathe again.
Awesome. Okay, and the game auto-saved. But we'll just to make sure that we're not caught on the back foot, we'll do that. Right, let's take a look at what we got. So we've still got the Builder's Trail. So we find the Tomb of the Last Castoff. Cool, we can do that. Find the Endless Gate in the Necropolis. That's something else that we need to do. Nearly leveled up again. That's awesome. Decipher Phoenix's note. Fair enough. Ask around about Troy. Fair enough. And the Lost Shepherd. We need to go into the labyrinth to see what he's done in our head. But Matt Keener has apparently leveled up, so we'll go and take a look at her. We'll do abilities first. Skill or ability? Skill or ability? I think we want an ability from her. Infuse weapon, warp dash. Teleport to a point, attack all enemies within short range. That sounds useful. Infuse weapon. Deal weapon damage of a chosen type. We'll go with warp dash. Warp dash sounds useful, so we'll go with that for now. Okay, right. So we've got 3 different codes. So we've got the scroll note, which is 5-1. So we've got 5143. We've got 1535. It's that bronze sphere. Oh, well, yeah, we probably should have taken a look at this before, shouldn't we? Or did we? Oh no, I think we did, didn't we? I can't remember. I'm not sure. Unless that's the bronze... I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. We can take a look at it later. And then we've just been told another one. So hopefully we'll be able to... Oh. Press the buttons randomly. You remember the code of the first tomb? Do I? Hold on. Is it in our quest log somewhere?
Yes.
I don't.
As you
Hold on.
wish.
Can we talk to Matt Keener again and she can tell us?
What now?
Nope, maybe not. Well, let's go for one of the ones that we know about first. So it's 1, 5, 3, 5. And the fourth hexagon illuminates, the energy field forms around you, tight sucking sensation pulls at your gut, and you disappear and go to a different place. Well, that's horrifying.
I'll remember that.
Phoenix's wisdom. Its nearly human face has been sculpted to look like it's emerging from the stone floor. As you draw near, the mouth suddenly begins to move. It speaks in an unfamiliar tongue and you feel a light touch across your mind. The face continues speaking, adjusting pitch and vibration of its words as it zeroes in on a shared language. The jumble of noise becomes recognizable speech. Quickly, the face becomes more human. You recognize the face. It is that of Phoenix, the enigmatic man in the valley. I am Phoenix, seeker of knowledge, lover of wisdom, questioner of the truth. I found ways to bend space and fold reality, but it was not enough to keep death from my door. If you are hearing this message, I am missing part of my consciousness. I have communicated with it, and it feels its feel its presence nearby, but it does not return. The voice fades, taking with the memory of the language it spoke.
If you want a job done right.
Purple. Daffyd Berkelkamp. Or Burlkamp. How high the highest candles light the darkness.
I'm ready.
Believer's cenotaph. In honor of the 100,000 souls who gave willingly and bravely to this world. There's a monument carved from their torment. Okay, so we've got all kinds of other like vaults around us. That's kind of interesting. Press one of the buttons with an arrow on it. The other buttons. Press the central hexagonal button. So hopefully this takes us back to the top and then we can start again. Cool. Let's ask if we... I was buried here long ago to await the coming of paradise. It's the paradise you speak of. My people are the memorialists. This is all the same stuff that we were told earlier, I think. Okay, yeah. I can't really... I can't remember the... So we've done that one. 5143. Let's try that one, I guess. 5, 1, 4, 3. So is this where we come across Inifir, and it's Oddwald the Sane. Those look a little ominous. He's got food.
I'll remember that.
Frail humanoid creature with olive skin, clad in rags wrapped around its waist, rummages about aimlessly, fidgeting with elongated hands. Scattered and frizzy dark strands on its scalp appear to be hair. As you approach, he rears his head, revealing large yellow eyes with tiny black dots that stare back at you gleefully. His smile, wide for a creature of his size, shows a perfect set of teeth as his head moves inquisitively from side to side. You stand in Oddwald's mind, he proclaims. Its thoughts are strange. No words, only music, humming, whistling, singing, sometimes with lyrics, sometimes without. They make no sense at all, not even musically. You're a strange one, aren't you? You're a blur. There's something about you that shivers space. You're not quite anywhere that I can see. That's because you see me flat. Even if you pierce the paper... even if you pierce the paper. But I stand up from the page and step to the place I need to be. And there I am again. I see, you're not just crossing reality, you're stepping through higher dimensions. As I just said. Tell me about yourself. Why, my friend, I am Oddwald. Oddwald the Sane, Oddwald the Magnificent, Oddwald the true seer and keeper of the past. The one who knows, the one who remembers, the one who hides, and the one who laughs. They said I was mad, carcass. My mind melted machine. When did they come in to see? I did not open the eyes to let them taste the colours of my thoughts, but they swept the knowledge into me and out of me, and all that's left is dust. He drums an arrhythmic pattern into the dust on the tomb's floor. After a moment, he scatters his assembled junk with a swipe of his hand. Pieces fly randomly, but each lands during one of the beats, and they land in a straight line. Insight, foreknowledge, intuition, a predator's mind trapped in a prey's body. See the puzzle fit together, find the nearest bolt hole. Okay, what are you doing here? Doing, or myriad of delights of life lie before me. Breathing, heart beating, observing, digesting, expressing, micturating, pontificating, answering, ruminating. It is a good time to be alive. Alive. Okay. Say, I am discovering myself and the world and the hidden parts of the universe. Listen, these tombs, I know them, they sing to me. They're new children, the children and their gate. I know of them. I even know the fearful inner fear. They are not secrets, though they are secretive. Look around you, you see the walls? I see the history, the past, the future, the potential. I line up probabilities and then push them around until they are true. She is quiet for a moment, staring off into the distance, and then says, "No, you don't." A figure of speech, a number of hyperboles, a jaunt into temporality of the mind. You are correct, my dear. Stop doing that. You're making unwelcome ripples. Of course. What can you tell me about the children of the Endless Gate? They know me, I know them, and when they come with ill intent, when they come as friends, I greet them warmly and keep open otherwhere at my back. When they come as enemies, they cannot find me. These doors to the other worlds, I have opened them. Oh, these doors to the other worlds, I have opened them. One brought me here. One opened my mind and spilled my thoughts out. One taught me to put my thoughts back in. He hefts a handful of small bones. You don't know where he found them. He casts them on the floor and laughs to himself, scoops them back up. So strange to think of a mind as a place to store thoughts, only by custom, only by memory. Much better to find a place for your thoughts in the world. Of course, then you have to worry about someone stealing your thoughts. Can you tell me anything useful about the children? Theirs is a door that might be best closed, but the opening comes unless... but none close it. Your brothers see but don't act. They speak but never listen. The opening is an opening. I have places to go, places to hide. Those here They're stuck in one perception, the gate a weight of hate. Too late, too great to close the gate. You're really not very useful, are you? What do you know about inner fear? Who knows a sibling better than a brother? Who has forgotten the face of his father, but remembered his acts? Who has seen the broken mind turned into a vengeful thing? He has no taste for blood nor for flesh, but his children bring him these morsels anyway. They do not heed his advice. They call him Lord, but he is their slave. Poor Inifir, a life misremembered, misinterpreted, a life wasted in fear. Inifir, too near, too dear, engineer of fear sincere. Do you know what happened to a girl named Choi? Ah, Choi. Choi in joyful repose, a chin in thought, a foot full of toes. Though the toes are mostly missing, snatched away by wind, like the light in her eyes. What is it? Ah, yeah, 4221. But remember, if you want to learn anything, you must hold your breath. Okay, so let's have a quick look at these. Look, Ma, no hands. Okay.
Of course.
Unending, unchanged, yet. What's the name on this one? Semej Trebere.
Go.
Okay, so what's in here? Do I put fingers in your brain? Leave it alone now. How do you plan to stop me? Through words and suasion? I hope it won't come to violence. My fragile bones aren't good for that. Okay. Fair enough. I got no issue. I got no reason to really cause him a problem. But right. Enter some other code. 4 2 2 1. Let's go. Let's see what's happened to this girl called Troy. Well, that's okay.
Of course.
Are you a girl called Troy? Allow the wind to guide
I'll
your
remember
eyes.
that.
Remembering what you were told, you hold your breath. The gentle breezes control the flickering of your eyes towards unpredictable places on the wall. Patterns and purpose of the gusts quickly become clear. They have been training your eyes to see. Suddenly the truth comes clear in twisting letters made from distortions in the air itself. They're in an older version of the truth, but you can read them. It's an epitaph, and it bears the name Choi Kei-sol. Okay, yeah. That was the name, surname of the memorialist you met when you entered the valley. The wind has not stopped. Its subtle pressures trying to guide you to new patterns. Follow the wind's guidance. Come you now to the tomb of Choi Kei-sul. It stands empty, for her body is gone, wrested away by the foul children to feed their endless gate and its infernal master. We raise this marker to commemorate the life of our beloved, to swear undying vengeance upon the man who stole her from us. Choi Kei-sul, your name will live forever. No? Okay, fair enough. It's not going to do any more.
Go.
What are these things?
Let's go.
To action.
Okay, so is that all the codes that we've had so far? Possibly, because we've done this one. We've done this one. Hold the orb up to the light. Mechanisms, perhaps. Press the cage sigil. You press the cage sigil with your thumb and hear Allegan's voice in your head as though from a great distance. Doesn't make sense. It's like this thing wants to be broken. Okay, pair of joined rings. You hear Tiber's chuckle in your head. Sounds like Rin. Button stubbornly rises again. Examining it more closely, you notice two small concentric circles lying at the foot of the tree, though you don't understand their meaning. Sudden flash of light forces you to shield your eyes. When you look again, the circles and the tree sigil are gone. Okay. Let's try Tibir's sigil again. Okay. I don't know why Rin's sigil has disappeared necessarily, but hey ho. Right.
All right.
So now we need to head to other places. I just want to see what happens when we do this. Press the buttons randomly. It's probably going to end up horribly. Well, this looks ominous.
Of course.
Ikros. Thinzi Zane. Zine.
I'm going.
Eric Barber.
I'm ready.
Joe Ingebretson. Leo Shannon. What's this? A remnant of ages long past, here lies one who searched for meaning and purpose, for guidance and longevity. You, who stands at the shores of fate, shall be wary of this one's wayward journey and his death at the hands of time. No thing can be eternal. Finroth, the everlasting husk. Okay, little creepy. Right, hold on. Let's take a look. Journal, right. So we need to find the Endless Gate in Necropolis. 1254. Okay, so we've got the code for that. We need to tell him about, and that means we need to go back into our head. And this one, I'm not too sure of. But I guess we need to take out the Endless Gate guys and deal with that. So 1254.
Why not?
Oh, you're interpreting the eliminates 2433. Let's try that, shall we? 2, 4. Unless that's this one that we're in. It might not be, so we'll find out. We'll take a look. Okay. Silver. The arcane humanoid shimmers and displaces across multiple versions of itself in a blink. So quick is the motion that you almost doubt your senses. Black-clad being makes slow, deliberate movements. Its eyes like dull grey jewels set into an expressionless face. You sense a malevolence caged. Its voice is deep and rich. I am Silver. You are a fellow seeker, yes? Tantalum has sent me to learn the secrets of the valley. I can smell the desire on your skin, but not the success. I have explored many of them and learned many things. Tantalum has said, I will find secrets here. He is correct. Keep up the search and your desires will see the reward. Who are you? His selves are an illusion, not a true ripple in reality. Do not fear him on that account. I am an acolyte, a seeker of knowledge, a devourer of artifacts, a stumbler on the path of truth, an answer for the unanswerable. So you believe, Tantalum? Certainly. All of humanity's wisdom, and even much that is not of humanity, lies buried in this necropolis. It's only a matter of time and effort before one finds answers. Okay, what have you found in these tombs? Truth of the old worlds reveal themselves to me. Secrets of time and reality, the shifting of particles smaller than perception allows, undergird all. But they are not part of my truth. My answer, I will find it. Okay. Is this the same place otherwise? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what was it? 1254? I think it was 125. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, we can just enter the... Oh, enter the code for the tomb with the stringed instrument. Let's go pick us up a stringed instrument. Are you the stringed instrument?
Yes.
You look like Phoenix's face again, but no idea how to play it. I would like to uncover this thing's secrets. It must require tuning. Examine the carved etchings on the head. Were not made by human hands. They curl and flow in an alien script, and the lights glimmer. Staring at them induces a mental fog. When you blink, you snap back to reality. You feel nausea coming on. Such artistry. Okay. Strings. Each of the 8 strings is fully transparent, of varying thickness. When you touch them, they make a terrible noise, as of shattering glass, crunching metal, screaming and screaming exotic animals. Head of each string is attached to a small bead. 8 concentric circles. Examine the beads. Okay, let's try to tune... Oh, apparently I can just do it because I'm that smart.
Ready to become even more heroic.
And Eretus leveled up. You slide the bead bridges into the deep indentations and they click audibly into place. Each of the strings shifts slightly in the visible spectrum, and the jangling, terrible noise the strings produced has changed to a pleasant hum. Each of the 8 strings is now in harmony with the others. I believe I know a melody or two that we might play. Settles her fingers on the string and concentrates. Several of her more solid echoes lean in to whisper, and she smiles and murmurs. And then she begins to hum. No, it's to strum, sorry. The sound is unearthly, crystalline. Okay. She lifts a hand from the strings, steps away from... Nothing happens. How She begins. The strings harden completely. Humming. Above them hovers a welter of confusing lights and images you can't even look at it. Some sort of spatial and temporal distortion blinds you. Then Castoffs places a hand on your shoulder. Together we will solve it. Okay, we'll try to decipher the thing. Because again, we're smart. We manage this stuff. This is good. With Castoffs' hand on your shoulder, the images snap into clearer focus. You see an intricate image with flickering lights that seem to indicate data and measurements projected into the air. You realize that these images and measurements project through realities, through dimensions, and you have a momentary glimpse into Castoffs' everyday perspective. Probabilities coil around you, and it is only through the power of your shared mind that you can make sense of what you're seeing. It's a schematic, a structural drawing of some ancient vintage. Towers, forks, circles, energy orbs, and other litter, and more litter your vision. You focus on the fork more intently, and you recognize the leftmost tine as one of the many devices your sire had hidden away under Sega's cliffs. In the image, however, it's surrounded by a series of sharp lines, one of which is bisecting an unrecognizable figure. By comparison, the towers surrounded by concentric circles in which the figures remain whole. The tips of the towers reach the third concentric ring around the world, while the tines only reach the first. Of course, these taller structures pierce the third layer, whereas these small others, what do you see? I'm not sure. At the centre here, there's what looks like the ninth world, but these other images, machines, nanobots, the data sphere, and if this image is correct, yes, under the proper circumstances, I will be able to make a connection. The question is when and where I will be able to make this connection. It implies a willing biological construct. I am one step closer to understanding the data sphere, and you have progressed one step further than your sire ever came. You should be proud, dear. You have just surpassed your creator. Cool.
Yes.
Can we play another melody? Okay. Well, apparently we did a thing, so that's cool.
Yes.
So that was that. You are currently in 3543. Okay, enter the code location we already know. Right, so do we go for the Endless Gate first or the first Castoffs tomb? I'm inclined towards the first Castoffs tomb first. And then we can go and take care of the rest afterwards. Because part of me thinks that there's going to be combat in the other bit, and I would like to maybe, like, we've not picked up much. We've got we've had a little bit of cash, but
Making a note.
stark letters are carved into the rock above with a steady hand. Sharp memories emerge at the sight of a masked figure in the tableau. The first cast-off. Countless footsteps have worn a track to and apparently into this mural. This is a gateway of some kind, but you can see no way of opening it apart from all of the masks on these people seem to be color-coded, so I can only assume it's one of them. What is this? Matkina puts her hands up against the wall, searching for something. Someone closed the portal from the other side. I don't know how to wake it back up. Why would they lock us all out? The sorrow, could it be? You look around the area. Maybe examining the environment will give you some clues. Read the epitaph. Oddly, many of the words above are completely unreadable. It's not that they're in a language you don't understand, it's truth, and you recognize every letter. Every time you try to pull it all together, the meaning slips from your mind. Maybe that part of the epitaph isn't meant for you. Your eye skips to the end of the message. She serves us still. She spits on the ground beside her feet. Come on, we need to get in there. Okay. There's a mask up there. But these statues are all of the same person, the first cast-off. Presumably, each of them wears a different mask.
All right.
Can I actually do anything with them, though? No, seemingly not. Oh, there are things on the wall.
Yes.
Let's go and take a look at the things
Now.
on the wall. What's this? Bewildering array of colliding jagged edges and mangled corpses make up this frieze. it's not quite clear whether the artist was inspired, drunk, or insane. A battlefield is depicted here. That much is certain, but the amount of detail is staggering, and it isn't immediately apparent what the artist was trying to convey. Examine the frieze. First detail you notice is the fortress standing out from the wall in bold relief. Many of the soldiers shown are pouring through the sundered gates, and every one of their faces shows a different emotion: elation, rage, terror. But it is the jagged edges, seemingly raised at random, that pull your attention down to the bottom right of the piece. There lies the first cast-off of the changing god, mortally wounded, dying alone as divergent reality snaps shut around her like teeth. Her voice is contemplative. I love this piece. Last time I came back to Miel, Avest, I stood here for an hour. I like to think that she's suffering as much as she caused Neng to suffer. More. Was that what actually happened now, though? Doesn't matter. It happened in some reality. Why do you still hate? I worry it poisons you. It might. But when the only family you ever knew gets slaughtered in front of you, I invite you to take the long view. Practice some forgiveness. Pretend that the people who did it had good reasons for it. Lecture all you want. I'm still laughing about her death even after all these years. Okay, well, let's examine it again. Once again, you see the soldiers. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So we got that one.
Yes.
Oh, we got a memory. The carvings here. I mean, we're running towards the end of our time, so we might just take a look at this one and then call it quits. The carvings here display two figures standing side by side on a crag overlooking a plateau with a wide disc at its centre. The scene is familiar because it was one of the things that we saw when we were first waking up after we fell from the sky. A wave of dizziness envelops you, and you steady yourself against the rough stone. This does not help. The memory flows out through the stone in rumbling pulses, overtaking your senses. Yes, this scene is familiar because you experienced it firsthand when you rebuilt your mind in the labyrinth, and now here the full memory awaits you. Succumb to it. The memory of that long day pours past you. Cold as melting snow, you direct the first Castoffs' gaze towards the resource-rich plateau where Miel Avest will one day stand. You ignore the laughter in her eyes when your own constructs turn on you and make the necessary repairs, and then the rush of time slows as she makes her way up a moss-hung path towards you, her eyes bright behind the mask. I have something to show you, she says. You follow her to a deactivated portal. I've got it working. The doorway exists in two places at once, here and on the other side. Once you align them, she lays her hands and forehead against the stone as though worshipping the thing. Your lip curls involuntarily, but you can't fault the results. The portal activates, answering the welling glow of the first Castoffs' tattoo beneath her mask. The flood of memory slows to a trickle, leaving you back in your body. You look over at the mural. Could that be the way to open the portal? Could be. But we've got one other frieze over here that we need to take a look at, and then we'll give it a go. But first, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll leave it here for now, and we'll come back in straight away next time. In fact, the first thing we'll do is level up Eratus, because he's in need of it. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video at all, then please drop us a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.